Christian New Church Theology, there's this beautiful series of books that are part of our canonical position around church and Christianity, and it's a set of books called Secrets of Heaven. It's a set of books that is essentially a biblical commentary looking at inner meanings of the Bible and beautiful poetic truth that we can find there. And then interspersed within that are these small little vignettes called Memorable Relations, if you're in Christian New Church circles, where there are little observations about, oh, this is what heaven might be like. Oh, this is what marriage might be like. Just these different beautiful little vignettes. I mean, just as simple as that. And the one we're looking at today, we've been looking at this story of the covenant. And today, in a little vignette, where Emanuel Swedenborg asks us to think, hey, this is how we might think of heaven. And the important part with all this stuff, folks, see it within a Christian context. I mean, New Church is deeply Christian, deeply Christian. And it's within that Christian context of understanding heaven and how heaven works and how heaven just holds people. And there's this beautiful little vignette. It's talking about revival, about how when we die that God revives us. That's when we wake up in the next life. It's such a comforting, loving process that if you read anything on NDEs, on near-death experiences, they'll talk about feeling surrounded by love. That's the whole point here. That's how that revival works. And this part here is talking about as we are revived, as we wake up to our new life and what that looks like. And as we go on to find our place in the new heaven, there's this beautiful line that says, everyone who enters the other world, without exception, is a wanted, welcomed newcomer. Oh, love that line. Welcome and wanted newcomer. So let's put that in the context of revival here, friends. And the idea of revival is, again, we revive or resuscitate or whatever word you want to use there. And I think there's kind of a double meaning there of revival. There's first off just a revival just of we leave behind our body in this life, our spirit, our soul goes on, our spirit is reawakened in heaven, and we start to find our people, start to find our place, start to find our purpose, the 3 Ps. And then there's this other part of revival. So just think of it this way. There's a revival in terms a revival, right? I'm revived to life. But then there's also this beautiful part of revival. And this is where we can practice this particular form of revival right here, right now, which is the revival, and go back to that beautiful, beautiful pairing there of seeing everyone without exception as a wanted, welcomed newcomer. That is a beautiful line right there. And what I love about that is seeing that within the context of being revived. Obviously, there's this immediate revival of we walk up to next life, read any near-death experience, you get to hear about that. But then there's also this revival that comes around connection with other people. And that is part of being revived back to life, is this revival of connection. And think about that, folks. How many people, I was working with a family last night, the imminent loss of a loved one, watching a loved one pass on and helping to shepherd that process, family helping to shepherd that process for their beloved. It's a beautiful thing to witness. And it's this beautiful kind of connection, knowledge that somebody is passing, and then this revival on the other side of it. But it's sort of this beautiful angelic handoff. Here's angels on this side of life, there's angels on the other side of life, and we're passing that on. And we can practice that, I think, more and more when we just see all right, we want to revive our life. We want to revive something that's dead. We want to revive, whatever phrase you might want to use with that. Yeah, there is part of that that's turning that over to God, and there's part of that that's our responsibility, which is really welcoming other people into our lives. Now, are there times where we'll welcome the wrong people into our lives? Absolutely, and that's where gentle as a dove, wise as a serpent. Jesus' great words: gentle as a dove, wise as a serpent. Be gentle, be smart. That's what it comes down to. And because there are those people who we know are bad actors, and we got to be cautious about that. But because there are a handful of bad actors out there in the world, and there are, that doesn't mean that we're to assume everyone is a bad actor. That's not true. we're actually to assume the opposite and be, obviously being smart about it. It's not about being dumb or ignorant or naive, but it's about being this warmly welcoming presence in all of our affairs, in all of our life, from the coffee shop down to, you name it. And friends, like, don't we just know places like that? Like Susan and I had a great anniversary dinner on Saturday night. Went to a great restaurant down in Easton, Maryland, and they were very welcoming. I mean, they were just very warmly welcoming the whole thing. It was just a great evening, a great dinner. And that's what life should feel like. It should feel, we want to feel welcomed. We want to feel that people aren't looking at us with suspicion. We want to feel that we're wanted to be part of this. And one of the things I've thought about church is I think church at its best is when somebody arrives and there's this feeling of like, oh, here you are. We've been waiting for you. Great to have you here. Be our guest. Little tip of the hat there to Beauty and the Beast. But that is very much part of revival, very much part of how God revives us to life. And it's a beautiful way to think of it, because New Church theology, and it's so Christian, is so immersed in this idea of mutual love, and it's this love that moves this way. It's not a love that moves this way. It's this mutuality and that connectedness and that being of useful service to each other. And God is right in on this game too. He's right in there with us in terms of how this mutual love looks and is realized out there into the world. So, friends, takeaway is pretty simple. Be a welcoming soul this week. Be a welcoming soul. Celebrate places where you feel very welcomed, and most importantly, extend it yourself. And notice that is part of revival, quote unquote. That is part of heaven here on earth. We cannot go around raising people from the dead. Obviously, that is the Lord's business, not ours. But we can be part of this other form of revival that's incredibly important and incredibly powerful. And that's the revival that happens as we build community, as we connect, as we make sure we all make sure that everybody feels like they are part of the family of man. So there is your thought for today, friends. May you have a day of revival. And what we're going to do now we're going to shift gears. And as we shift gears here at New Church Live, what we do is we take a little breath, we listen to a prayer bell, we do a little prayer, a little meditation. A little prayer and a little meditation, and we say hi to folks on social media who join us on Facebook. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath. Ancient meditation from the Old Testament. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's get a little quick cheery hello to friends and see how their life is a plug-in. All right, let me get this redone here. Sorry, it just takes me a nanosecond to say hi to folks out here. Linda writes, yes, and I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that, Linda. It is a big, giant, cosmic yes, which is a good thing. Now hopping over here to the New Church Live Facebook page. All right. Sherrich, what a fabulous talk to start this week. Thank you. You are most welcome. It's a beautiful little concept, isn't it? Gabriella, good morning and thank you. You are welcome. Sherry, good morning. We're feeling very blessed here in the Chattanooga and praying for our North Carolina neighbors. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Jerry, like just a lot of thoughts around how to help down in that area. Marcus, good morning to you, buddy. Great to see you joining us as well. So friends, just God bless. May you have a wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and deep love from us here at New Church Live, and may you